Welcome. Feel free and breathe easy. Today, we are going to come back to the mental dimension. As we introduce the idea briefly, begin so long by taking a few deep breaths as usual. And begin to let go of the tension and mental activity. In the usual way, allow one part of your mind as you listen to sink into your own breathing. Nice and natural and easy. People who suffer from insomnia face a particularly interesting problem. It can also become an exhausting problem. The more we try to force ourselves to fall asleep, the more sleep eludes us. The more we try to stop thinking, the more the mind runs in circles. If this is one of your biggest problems, then mindfulness may be just the thing you need. Session 4 in this series was our introduction to the mental dimension. You may recall how we described the secret to mindfulness. We direct our attention inwards, towards the source of our own thinking. We become aware of ourselves in a deep way. Normally, our thoughts project outwards. We think about the future, what may or may not happen, and we think about the past. What we should have done, or what we shouldn't have done. We think about the outside world, and we think about other people. We think about ourselves too, but in an outward way. We analyze and ruminate in this way. With mindfulness, we are not exactly thinking about anything at all. Instead, we are simply observing our own thinking. That simple act is a magical one. It is a very powerful way to use the mind. It is the essence of all meditation. A little bit of honest reflection and observation will show you just how difficult it is to remember to keep watching. By focusing our attention back on itself, we create a kind of mirror reflection. The mind tends to go quiet, calm and peaceful, like a lake without any waves. As soon as we forget to pay attention, the ripples and waves begin. Then, one thought immediately leads to another thought. Without realizing it, we have climbed aboard the train of thinking, and our minds carry us off, thinking, thinking, thinking automatically. But at any moment, if we become mindful, we can climb off that train of thought. The automatic thinking train loses its energy and our minds calm down. This is why mindfulness is a skill we have to learn. The more often you practice, the easier it becomes. So practice as often as you can. Gradually, as we learn to become more mindful, we are able to create a kind of gap in our thinking patterns. We create more space in our heads. Our minds actually become clearer and sharper in this way. When it's time to focus mentally, but when it's time to switch off and sleep, that gap in our automatic thinking is the most valuable ally. So, let's continue to develop this skill as we go along in today's mindful meditation session. Come back to your breathing now. Allow the sensation of breathing to fill your mind and senses. Place both of your hands on your belly, an inch or so beneath your navel, and pay attention to the sensation of breathing in that place. Become alert to your own thinking. Become mindful as you breathe. Keep coming back to the process. No matter how many times your mind starts to lose concentration, no matter how compelling the thought feels, simply observe the thoughts, one by one. If it helps, you can count them if you want to, but don't get lost in the counting. Simply remain alert and aware of the place where thinking arises. If you find yourself doing battle with your thoughts, then shift your attention down into your body again. Sense your legs and feet. Sense the breath by your navel. The more you can sink into the body, the less energy becomes available for the head. Don't worry if you get lost or distracted. Keep coming back to your anchor, the breathing. That is your reminder. We are gradually stretching our mindfulness muscles. It's going to take some time and practice, but the more often you are able to create a little bit of distance between you and your own thinking, the more easily sleep will come when it is needed. Let's keep going a little bit longer this time. Stay rooted in your breathing and simply let go of each thought as it arises. Set it free like a balloon filled with helium. If you sense a particular thought or feeling that constantly nags you, something that is screaming for you to pay attention, then take note of it. It may well be a piece of your life that needs some love and attention. Remember, though, that there is a limit to what we can do in our minds. We can certainly notice things and make plans to deal with the things. But once those plans are in place, further thinking is no longer really useful. Have the wisdom to know this. Know the difference. When we need to think things through, then by all means, we need to think things through. But once we have reached the logical conclusion of our thought process, then we need to again become mindful, so the thinking doesn't drag us along mercilessly. So, in other words, we are never going to make an enemy of our own minds. We are never going to fight our own minds. We are not going to force things. Mindfulness is not warfare. No, instead, we are simply shifting our attention into a higher gear, a deeper dimension of awareness. It is a calm and soothing place. It is that space from which thoughts come up, and it is that calm space into which the thoughts return. So, focus on the inner space, not on the thoughts themselves. May our mindfulness practice bring you much peace. Now, it's time to wrap up today's session. In a friendly way, say goodbye to each and every thought that arises now. Place your hands next to your body, palms down, and take a few more deep, soothing breaths. Feel the weight of your body sink into the mattress, and each time you exhale, mindfully release the thoughts and feelings that are present. until you drift off peacefully into sleep. Check in again tomorrow for the next session. Pleasant dreams.